Hey, what's up? Welcome to this new video. This one is paper 1-1 of May-June 2021 for O-Level Math D. Now, with that being said, obviously, let's move on to questions number 1. So here we have to work out the first one. Here we have 4.6 times 10 minus this times 100. So obviously, we have to use BODMAS. So we have to first do multiply. That will be 746, and that will be minus 389. 746 minus 389. So 6 we cannot, obviously. That should be 3. 10 minus 9 will be 1. 1 plus 6 will be 7. That will be 6. 10 minus 8 will be 2. 2 plus 3 will be 5, and that should be 3. So 3, 5, 7. That is part A. Now for part B, again using BODMAS, so we have to first do multiply. That will be 6. Then minus, that will be 5. 5 plus 5 will be 10. Now for part 2, from the numbers above, write down a factor of 70. So which numbers is a factor of 70? So this one will be a factor of 70 because root of 25 is 5, so obviously we know it will be a factor of 70. Now it is a cube number. So let's see which one. Obviously 125 will be a cube number because we know that 5 cube is 125, right? Now it is an irrational number, so irrational number, it will be what? Let's see. As we can see, it will be this one, root of 8, because that is only our only choice. This one is exact, it will be 5, it will be rational, but this one will not be exact, so hence will be irrational. That will be question number 2. Now for this one, we have to work out this one. So here we have fractions, the base are different. We have to make them become the same. So we have to multiply them by each other. You will have 35. Then we have to cross multiply. So 3 times 5 is 15. Here we have plus, that will be 14. That will be 29 over 35. Now for part B, we have to find 2/3 of this. Pretty easy. 2/3 of this, so multiply by this. That will be what? 1. That will be 2, that will be 4 over 11 as your answer. That will be part 3 of your question. Now let's move on to question number 4. So part A, a record is kept for water level in a harbor. Okay, one morning the level is 5 meters. That afternoon the level is -2. Okay, find the difference between the level in the morning and the level in the evening. Pretty easy. That will be 5 minus -2. That will be 7 meters. Okay. Now for part B, one day, the temperature at midday is 9 degrees. At midnight, the temperature dropped by 15.3. Find the temperature at midnight. So pretty easy. That will be what? So 9 minus 15.3. Or we can just first do 15.3 minus 9. So 9 will be this one here. Sorry, 9.0. That will be 3. And this will be what? 15 minus 9, that should be 6. So 6.3, however, because we have to actually do 9 minus this, that will be minus 6.3 degrees. Now number 5, the diagram shows a quad. We have a quad ABCD, so ABCD with AD extended to E. Okay, fair enough. And then we have the angle B, this is 135, 83. We have to find the angle X. So pretty easy. Because this is a straight line, we understand this will be what? This will be 180 minus 122. That will be 7. 10, that should be 8, and that should be 5. That will be 58. Now, because we know ABCD is a quad, the sum of all the angles will be 360. So this one will be the rest, which is 360. Let's first minus 58. You will have 5 here. That will be 10. 10 minus 8 will be 2, 0, 2, 3. Minus 135. That will be what? Let's see. That will be 2 here. 10. That will be 9. That will be 10. 10 minus 5 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 9 minus this will be 6. That will be 1. Then minus 83. That will be 4. And that should be 8. So finally, X will be the value of 84 degrees. So step by step, you will find this to be 84 degrees. That will be your question number 5. Now let's move on to question number 6. So we have to write down the number as a product of its prime factors. So that will be 308 divided by 2, that will be 1, 5, 4, divided by 2, that should be 7, that will be 1 here, that should be 7, divided by 7, that should be 11. So that will be 308 is equal to 2 times 2 times 7 times 11. That will be part 1. Now we have to find the highest common factor, HCF, of this and this. So what are the prime factors of 66? Divide by 2, that will be 33. Divide by 3, that should be 11. So 66 is equal to 2 times 3 times 11. Now 308 have to be 2 times 2 times 7 times 11. So HCF will be the one that matches. For example, this match with this, and this match with this. So we have 2 times 11, and that will be 22 as your answer for the HCF of those two numbers. Now let's move on to question number 7. So the diagram shows a trapezium ABCD. So ABCD, it is a trapezium. Now we have AB as 7, AB is 7, DC is 10, okay, and the area of the trapezium is 85, so we have to find the height. So how do you find the area of a trapezium usually? It is half times sum of the parallel side, that will be 10 plus 7, and times the perpendicular height to get the value of the area, which is 85. So let's see, how can we find this? That will be 17 over the value of 2, h, that will be 85. Now obviously that will become what? H will be 85 times 2 divided by 17. So what is the value of h? Let's find out. So let's check. So what is 17 times 5? That will be 7 times 5 will be 35. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 3, and that will be 8. So we understand that 17 will cancel out with here, you will have 5. 5 times 2 will be 10. The height will be 10 centimeters. Now again, this is the main idea here, is that how do you find area of trapezium? It is half times sum of the sides which are in the same direction, parallel sides, and then times the height in between. That's how you find the area of a trapezium, and then you have to solve to find the value of 10 as the height. Let's move on to question number 8. So here we have to simplify this one. So this plus this, so minus this actually, that will be 4x. 15 plus 8 will be what? Plus. So that will be 23. So 4x plus 23. Now for part B, we have to expand. Pretty easy. That will be x squared minus 10x plus 25. Because we have to know if you have a minus b squared, that will be a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Same way, this will become this. Okay, and that will be part 8. Now let's move on to 9. Insert one of the following symbols to make each statement correct. So here we have different units, so we have to make them become the same. So we know 1 kg is equal to 1000 g. So 0.6 kg is equal to how much g times 1000? That will be 600 g. Now obviously this is more than this. Now this one, as we know, 15 km, that will be 15,000 m. So same, that should be equal. For this one, as we can see, we know that 1 meters square have to be how much centimeters square. So let's think, how can we derive that? If you forgot, pretty easy. We know that for example, 1 meters is equal to 100 centimeters. So if you want to square both sides, you will have what? 1 square meters is equal to 0.0000 centimeters square. So the idea is 1 meter square is 10,000 centimeters square. So here we have 4 meters square. That will be 40,000 centimeters square. So obviously this is more than this. That will be more. Okay, that will be question number 9. Now let's move on to question number 10. So by writing each number correct to 1 SF, 1 centimeter figure, estimate this fraction. So pretty easy. Here we have 3, 6, 2.4. Now, correct to 1 SF, we have to leave the first one by itself and ask ourselves if this number here, is it more or equal to 5? If it is, then we have to add 1 to the first one. It is. 6 is more than 5. So 3 plus 1 is 4. and the rest becomes 0. This one is 187.2. So same way, leave the first one by itself, and this is more than 5, so add 1, that will be, and the rest becomes 0. Same way, so we have 52.3. We leave the first one by itself, and this is less than 5, so we don't add anything. We turn everything rest to 0. Now let's replace. You will have 400 minus 200 divided by 50. That will be 200 over 50. That will be the value of 4, right? That will be your answer. Estimation of your value for question number 10. Now let's move on to question number 11. So in a survey, 3 out of every women are taller than 1.9 meters. Okay, great to know. Now, one of these 100 women is picked at random. Find the chance that she's not taller than 1.9. So pretty easy. The chance that she's taller is what it is? 3 over 100. So the chance that she's not taller obviously will be 1 minus this one, right? It will be 97 over this, which is 0.97. Now, what else? So part B. A new housing estate is being planned. There are 3 possible plans, A, B, C. Okay. The survey carried out to see which plan people preferred. Okay. The relative frequency table shows the results. A, B, and C. This is the relative frequency. So 52 people preferred the plan C. Okay. So we have to use ratio here. Pretty easy. So 0.2 for C is equal to 5.2. Now 0.3 is how much? Pretty easy. That will be 5.2 divided by 0.2 times 0.3. So we can divide by, so let's do something here. Let's make it easier for ourselves. We can actually, what if you multiply by 10, right? So we can eliminate that decimal place. But anyways, let's do one by one. How about the top? The top we have 5.2. Let's do times 3 first. That will be 6, and that will be 15. Now because here we have 1 decimal place, that will be 1 decimal place. So here you will have 15.6 over 0.2. Now we can try to simplify this by doing what? By multiplying top and bottom by 10. So we can move this over here, and this will be this. So that will be 1, and that will be. So here we have 7 and 8, 78 as your answer. As you can see, we just have to simplify and try our best to find that number. Now for part 2, we have to find the total number of people in the survey. So pretty easy, that will be. So that will be 52. This one. So that will be, let's times 10. You have 520 divided by 2. That will be divided by 2 here. You will have 260 people in the survey. So the reason why is that is because we know everything, if you add everything together, that should be 1, right? But we know here that 0.2 is equal to 5.2. So how do you make this become 1? You have to divide by 0.2, that will become 1, and that will be this over 0.2. That's why I do this, and then I will have this value as my total number of people, because that's the main goal here. Total, we have 1. We have to find for 1. How many people do we have? 260. That'll be question number number 11. Now let's move on to question number 12. Bernard bought a game in the USA for $15. Alice bought the same game in Zambia and paid the equivalent price in Zambian, I guess dollars, whatever that is. Now exchange rate, I don't know how to say that, kwacha, I guess, Zambian kwacha. Yeah, I hope so. I said this right. Now the exchange rate is this one. Find the price Alice paid. Pretty easy. So we know that the game was $15, right? Now we know that 1 Zambian, so we know that 0.075 is equal to 1 Zambian kwacha. So we have to find for the price of this. So step by step, we have to first find for $1. That will be 1 divided by 0.075. Now we can obviously simplify this. Let's multiply by 1, 2, 3. So that will be 1, 2, 3 over 75. So for $1, that will be the exchange rate for Zambian kwacha. So here we have to find for $15. That will be pretty easy. That will be 1,000 over 75 times 15. Let's see how much we have. So we can divide by 5. That will be 3. And that will be, so by 5 you will have 2 here. So 1 here, actually 1. And that will be 2 here, and that should be 5. Divide by 3, that will be 1 and 5. Now divide by 5, that should be 200. So step by step, you will have 200 as your answer for Zambian kwacha. That will be question number 12. Now let's move on to question number 13. So two numbers x and y are such that x and y, the ratio is 5 to 11, and then we have x plus y is this. So what does the ratio mean? Ratio means fraction. X over y is equal to 5 over 11. That's what it means. We can cross multiply. You will have 11x is equal to 5y. That is my equation number 1. Here we have equation number 2. So we can solve. Let's make y become subject. It is 112 minus x. Replace this back in your equation. You will have 1 x will be 5 times y. That will be 1x. That will be 5 times 112 minus 5x. Send this over here. That will be 16x. That will be 5, 112. So x will be the value of 5 times 112 divided by 16. Let's divide by 2. Simplify. Divide by 2, you will have 8. Divide by 2, you will have, that will be 5, 6. Divide by 2, you will have 4. Divide by 2, you will have 2, 8. Divide by 4, you will have 7. Your answer will be 35. So x is 35, y will be the value of 112 minus 35. So let's do this here, 112, 35. That is 0, 1. That should be 7. And that should be 7. So y is 7, 7. And x is 35. That is your answer for question 13. Now let's move on to question number 14. This is a term-to-term rule for a sequence. Okay, so part 1. So the first 3 terms in this, so here we have to multiply by 2 and add 3. So if you had x, that will be 2, this one. That makes sense, right? Multiply by 2, add 3. So the first 3 terms in this sequence is 1. Then 1, we have the times 2 plus 3 is 5. Times 2 plus 3 is 13. Write down the next term. So pretty easy. Next term will be times 2 will be 26 plus 3, that should be 29. So 29 will be the next term. Now for part B, this is again the term-to-term rule for a different sequence. We have to square x square minus 5, right? Square it and minus 5. The second and third term of the sequence is minus 1 and minus 4. Okay, so we have to write down the fourth term. Fourth term will be what? Square. That will be minus 4 square will be 16. Minus 5, that should be the value of 11. Okay. Now we have to write down the possible values for the first term of this one. So let's see. So let's go. Let's let x be the first term. Right. So we know that if I take x as square minus 5, I was going to get minus 1, which means x square have to be the value of 4. X will be plus minus 2. So it can be minus 2 or 2. That is your question number 14. Now let's move on to question number 15. So two villages, Foxby and Glenton, are joined by a footpath and a road. So we have Foxby here, Glenton, we have a footpath and a road. Okay. Now, Abdul walks along the footpath from Foxby to Glenton. Okay. That's the route taken by Abdul. Now he walks for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Arrives at Glenton at this time. So pretty easy. At what time does he leave? Has he left Foxby? So that will be 15:10. Have to minus the time taken, obviously. That will be what? So here we have 14. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. 60 time. So that will be 56, and that will be 12. So yeah, time will be 12:56. He would leave Foxby for Glenton. Okay. Now for part B, The distance by road between Foxby and Glenton is 15 km. Okay, that's the distance between them. A bus travels along the road between them. Okay, the bus takes this much time. So we have to find the average speed in km per hour. Okay, so what is how do you convert minutes to hours? So we understand that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So we know that 1 minute is equal to 1 over 60 hours. So 15 minutes, so 12 minutes will be 1 over 60 times 12. That will be 12 over 60. Now we can simplify, obviously. Divide by 6, you will have what? You will have 2, 10, and that will be 0.2. So you would take 0.2 hours, in other words. So pretty easy. That is what? 0.2 hours is equal to 15 km. So the speed is equal to distance divided by time. Simplify, we can multiply by 10 on both sides. That will be 150 over 2, and that will be just 75. So check. 1, that should be 7 here, 1, 5. 75 km per hour will be the speed of the bus. Okay, now for part C, we have what? The bearing of Glenton from Foxby is 128. So we have to calculate the bearing of Foxby from Glenton. So let's see. How do you find bearings? So let's see. So let's say we have our north line here and here. Let's join them. So it tells you that the bearing of Glenton from Foxby, this one, will be 128. Now this is the same direction, the north direction, right? Now we want to find out what is the bearing of Foxby from Glenton, from this side to this side. So pretty easy. So we do understand that the angle here, or the angle here, is the same as this one. So this is also 128. This is 180, obviously, because it is a straight line. That will be 180, and this is equal to this because of the alternate angles, right? Because we know that of the z thing, the inside will be the same, so hence the outside will be also the same. That's how we know this. Now this green will be 180 plus 128. That will be 803. That will be 308 as your answer for the bearing of Foxby from Glenton. Let's move on to question number 60. So here it seems we have a transformation question. So triangles ABC are drawn on the grid. Okay, part 1. Describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So A onto B, by observation or by elimination, you can see that has to be what? Has to be a reflection. And the line will be, so this point became this point. Distance was 1, 2, 3, 4. Midpoint is right here. The line will be x equal to -1. It will be reflection in the line x equal to -1. For part B, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto C. So A onto C, A going to C. As you can see, there's a change in direction. So obviously it will have to be what? So we have rotation, reflection. This one will be obviously rotation. Now for rotation, we have to find the angle of rotation as well as the center of rotation. So one by one. First thing first, we know it is a rotation. So now to find the center of rotation, let's do step by step. So we know this point became this point. We can join them together at first. And then we can find the perpendicular bisector of this line. That will be this line. And what else? We know this one became this one. We can join them together. And what is the perpendicular bisector? It will be something right here. Something around this point. As you can see, obviously I would recommend using your compass to draw this. But in this case, it seems okay-ish. It seems pretty easy, but you have to use a compass to show how you find your answer. So I hope you guys know how to draw the perpendicular bisectors between 2 points. Now you can see they meet at this point. This will be your center of rotation. So center will be 0, 1. Now what is the angle of rotation? Let's see. So this point from here became this point. This has to be 90. Obviously for O levels we only have 90, 180, right? That's the main thing we have to deal with, or 270 if you want to. So as you can see, this obviously will have to be one of those. That will have to be 90. From this point to this point, and we know this is a clockwise direction, so clockwise 90. So clockwise 90 degrees. That will be part B of your question for 3 marks. Now for part D, triangle D is the image of A after the enlargement of scale factor of 2 with the center is this. Again, there's many ways of doing this question. We can always use the diagram itself, or sometimes we tend to use a matrix. But let's use the diagram. Center is 1, 2. 1, 2 is this one. That's the center of enlargement. Now the scale factor is 2. So pretty easy. Let's do something here. So the first thing we have to do is we have to kind of let's draw the line here. Let's draw these lines. Of course, you will be using a pencil for that, so there won't be an issue. So the idea is that this point will not change because it is at the center. This point will not change. How about this point? It will become, the value was 2. The scale factor was 2, will become 4. So that will become 1, 2, 3, 4, become here. Now for this one, obviously, it was here. It will become here. So that will be your new big triangle. That will be this. So the triangle D will be a big triangle in which we will have the triangle A. That makes sense. That will be triangle D, the big thing. So again, because the center is on the point itself, it will not change, right? And then we know we will have a scale factor of 2. So because we have drawn these two lines, we know the point will have to lie on those two lines, right? Now it is 2 times 2, that will be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 will be here. Now we have this here, obviously this is straight line up, that will be this. Okay, that will be part C of your question, drawing triangle D. Now let's move on to question number 17. So here what do we have? So here the diagram shows an isosceles triangle, which means there's two sides are the same, right? Triangle ABC where AB is equal to AC. Okay, D is a point on AC such that right here ADB is 90 and E is a point on AB such that AEC is 90 as well. Okay, fair enough. Now what else do we need to know? So it says that we have to show the triangles ADB. Where's ADB? ADB, okay, and the triangles AEC are congruent. Congruent means exactly the same, so we have to show they are exactly the same. So let's see how can we do that. So one way is obviously SSS, by showing all the sides are the same, or you can show the sides, the angle and the side, or the angle, the side and the angle. Right, so let's see if that works out or not. Okay, so we do understand that if you look at triangle ADB, so we have this and this and this. So we have a few things here we can use. Let's see, let's think. So the first thing we have is what? Is we can break this down first thing first. So it seems that both of those triangles have this one, right? So let me take them out to make it easier for you guys to see. So here we have A, DB. Let me see, A, DB. That'll be one of the triangles. So I know this is A, D, and B. Okay, so I know this is 90. Okay, this is the side that we have, right? And I know this is the angle in common. Let me kind of draw this one. Okay, Now let me take out the other triangle, which is AEC. So A is here, E is here, and C will be right here. That will be A, E, and C. This is 90. Obviously, this is the same angle A right here. And this side will be also the same. So you can see already, we're using this one, angle, side angle. So by ASA, let me write this down. First one, what do we have? Number one, we do realize that angle A is common. And then we have 2. The side AE, okay, let me write AD, is equal to AE because the triangle ABC is isosceles. That's the reason why. And then number 3, obviously we have seen that the angle, let me write this down. So angle here, this one is ADB is equal to angle AEC, which is 90 degrees. So by ASA, we prove that the two triangles are congruent. Congruence means exactly the same, not the same thing as similar. So that will be question number 17. That will be, let's move on to question number 18. So here we have to solve the equation, solve the simultaneous equation. So show your working step by step. First thing first, here let's make x become subject. That will be minus 6y. Replace back here, 3 minus 6y minus 2y have to be 0. That will be minus 18y. This is 10, sorry, not 0, 10. Minus 18y minus 2y have to be 10. Minus 20y have to be 10. So y will be minus 1 over 2. Now x will be minus 6 times minus 1 over 2. That will be the value of 3. So x will be 3 and y will be minus 0.5. That is part 18. Now 19, y is proportional, so proportional to x minus 1 square. So we can rewrite this as equal k x minus 1 square. Now, when y is 18, x is this, so y is 18. X is the value of 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 square. That will be 18. That will be 4 times 9. So k will be the value of 2. So right now we have this equation. Y is equal to k. We know it is 2x minus 1 square. Now using that, we have to find the value of y when x is 6. That will be y. 2. 6 minus 1 is 5 square. That will be 2 times 25. That should be 50. That is question 19. Now let's move on to question number 20. So here we have the line 2y equal to x is drawn on the grid. Okay, fair enough. Now on the grid also draw this graph. We have to draw the graph of y is equal to 2. So pretty easy. That will be a horizontal line at this value 2. This one. That will be y is 2. Then we have to draw y plus x is 4. So let's use 2 passing points to draw this one. For example, when x is 0, y will be 4. When y is 0, x will be 4. So 0, 4, and 4, 0. So let's join those two to form the line. Okay, so label this as y plus x is equal to 4. Now for part B, so here we have on the grid, shade and label the region R defined by the following inequalities. So let's see where is R. First thing first, we have x plus y has to be less than 4. Okay, less than 4 has to be below this line, right? That's the first one. And then we have 2y is more than x have to be above this line. So below this one, above this one, okay. Less than 2 have to be below this one. Okay, fair enough. And then more than have to be more than 0. X had to be more than 0. That will be this one. So finally you will end up with this one. Again, it is not hard, it's just step by step. You will end up with this region. Here you go. That will be question number 20. Now let's move on to question number 21. So here we have to factorize, so step by step. So here we have C, let's keep it like this for now. Let's see what happens. So here we have x and x. So let's rewrite this as this. Some space minus 6cy minus 4by. Here we have x and x, we can factorize. That become 3c plus 2b. Here we have minus, we can factorize. Here we have y, we can factorize. Here we have 4 and 6, factorize 2. So you have 3c plus 2b. And this are the same, so we can factorize again. That will become 3c plus 2b, and remaining we have x minus 2y. This is your answer for part A. Now for part 2, we have to factorize this, so we have to have 2 brackets because we have 6x squared. Now what is 6x squared? It is 3x times x, and 2x, sorry. Now again, this is done by trial and error. So I don't know the answer right now. I'm trying to see what are my possible options so I can get the desired factorization. So 10 is 1 times 10, or it could be 2 times 5, for example. Now here I need to have plus 7. So how can I find that? That could be, let's try. Let's see what happens. So I can put, what if I put 2 here and 5 here? That doesn't work. What if I put 5 here and 2 here? That doesn't work either. Let's try something else. What if I have 6x times x and here? So that will be, if I put 2 here and 5 here, it works. That will be plus 12 minus 5. That will give me plus 7. If you can see, so this times this will be plus 12 minus 5 will be plus 7, and that works. So this is my factorization, which is 6x minus 5 times x plus 2. That is your answer for part B, question number 21. Now let's move on to question number 22. A car has mass of 2,400 kg, correct to the nearest 100 kilograms. Okay, that is 100 kg. As we know, that will be this plus minus 102. Upper bound, lower bound, that should be 2,450 to 350. Now let's move on. A caravan has a mass of this. That will be 1460 plus minus, so 10. That should be 10 over 2. That will be what? That will be 5, obviously. That will be 1465, and that will be 1455. So part 1, we have to calculate the lower bound for the total mass of the car and the van. So total is what? Total mass is found by adding the mass of the two cars. But you want to find the lower bound of the total mass. That will be the lower bound of the car plus the lower bound of the caravan. That will be, lower bound is 2350 plus caravan should be 1455 for the lower bound. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. That should be here. 4 plus this is 7 plus 1. That should be 8, and that should be 3. Again, let's try again so you guys can see how did I add this to this with this. 1455. This will be 5. This will be 10. This will be 8 and 3. So 3805 kg for the total mass of those two lower bound. Now let's move on. Question number 23. So part A, we have this. So here we have to find the value of A when B is this, C is this, and D is this. So let's find out. A will be, B is equal to 4 times 10 square plus C is 6 times, and divide by D will be this one, 2 times 10 power this. So one by one, obviously, let's first expand this. You will have 16 times 10 power 4 plus 6 times 10 power 3. Now because the powers are different, we cannot add. We have to add 1 here. I mean, send 110 here. You will have 160 times 10 power 3 plus 6 times 10 power 3. Now because the powers are the same, we can add them together now. So this plus this will be 166 times 10 power 3. Replace back, you will have 166 times 10 power 3 over 2 times 10 power 2. Now we can separate them. That will be 166 over 2 times 10 power 3 over 10 power 2. Go away, that will be 1. And divide by 2, you will have 83. So 83 times 10 power 1, that will be 8.3 times 10 power 2. Now let's move on to part 2. Now we have to rearrange the formula to make b become the subject. So here we have this b squared plus c over d. Obviously, first thing we can cross multiply, you will have ad is equal to b squared plus c. So b squared will be ad minus c. So b will be square root of ad minus c. So b is the subject. Now for part b, m this plus this is this. Work out this. So let's find out. How can we find this? So let's think about this. So m times 10 power 4. Here we have, or we can just try to use substitution. Yeah, why not? So let's make this become subject. You will have m times this, that will be 3636 minus m times this. Right, so replace this by this. You will have m times 10 power 4 minus, this is equal to 3636 minus m times 10 power 4. So simplify, you will have m times 10 power 4 is equal to what? So that will be plus m times 10 power 4 minus 3636. Okay, so this is not really working out in the way I hope it would work out. That will become 2 times m times 10 power 4, and that will be minus 3636. So let's see, how can we find a way to solve this? Because I think there's a logic behind this question. I guess this is the first time I am seeing something like this. So if you add them, you will get this as your value. Oh, pretty easy. I guess we have to break it down, right? I guess I'm just so dumb for this one. We just have to break it down, actually. Use the logic. Okay, that was pretty dumb, by the way. I was just trying to see if it was possible, but I guess we end up with something else. For example, here, m obviously is the constant. Here we have 10 power this. So basically m will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus m power 2, that will be 1, 2. That should be m, right? Now if you plus those two, you will get what? You will get 36360. If that makes sense, right? Now by comparison, you can see what's happening here. The value of m is simply the value of 36. So m is 36, right? So by comparison, that's what you get. M is 36. Because you observe that these two actually are in standard form. That's what I mean. They are in standard form. And by putting 3.6 here, sorry, 3.6 here, and 3.6 here, you will get the value here. So the idea here, m will have to be 3.6. My apologies, 3.6, not 3.6. You gotta be careful with the terms. So if you put m as this, if you were to add them, you will have this. If you check, this will be 360, and that will be 36123. That will be 4, and then that should give you 36360. So the main idea is we were able to find the value of m to be 3.6. Now let's replace back. You will have 3.6 times 10 power 4 minus 3.6 times 10 power 2. Again, that was something we have to observe to see what's happening. And as you can see, we were able to find that. That's good news. Let's see. That will be this 1, 2, 3 minus this one. So let's see, what do we have? So 36000 minus 360. That will be what? 5, 10, 9, 10. That should be 0 here, 4 here, 6 here, 5 and 3. So 3, 5, 6, 4, 0. That will be part B of your question. Again, by observation, we're able to find this. Now let's move on to question number 24. So what do we have here? So here we have two matrix. Let's find m minus n. That will be 5, 2, 1, 3. Minus n. That will be 4, 3 minus 2, 0. 5 minus 4 is 1. 1 minus 2 is 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. 3 minus 0 is this. That will be part A of your question. Now for part B, find the value of C and the value of D. So let's see. So we have this, this, and this. So let's find out. So P is this one times Q. What do we get? So of course it is rows by columns. So 2. So we have this. So this is minus 2 given to you already. So rows by columns, that will be 4 plus 40. So rows by column, that should be 3C plus 10. Rows by column, that should be 2C minus 5D. So by comparison, this will be what? This. So 4 plus 40 have to be 0. So 4D will have to be minus 4. D will have to be minus 1. Now what else? This one have to be this. So 3C plus 10 have to be 19. So 3C have to be 9. So C will have to be 3. So C is 3 and D is minus 1. We can check, use it to check. So 2 times C is this one, minus 5 times minus 1. That should be 6 plus 5, and that should be 11. So check 11, good to go. That is question number 24. Now we have question number 25. Let's see what happens for this one. So here we have a circle, center here, right here, 1, 0. Okay. Now what do we need to find? So we have P as a point on the circumference, right here. And we have to find the equation of the tangent at the point P. So to find the equation, obviously, we must first find what? Find the gradient of the line. Pretty easy. We understand that. If you were to join those two, this is 90 degrees right here, right? So we can first find the gradient of PC. That will be 5 minus 1 over 3 minus 0. That should be 4 over 3. Now from here, the gradient of tangent have to be minus 3 over 4. So we use the passing point P and the gradient of tangent to find the equation. That will be y and x. So y minus 5 over x minus 3 have to be the gradient. Again, this is just the way I use to find the equation of a straight line. As we guys know, to find the equation of a straight line, we need a passing point, which is P, and the gradient of the line, which is this, I found out. Now cross multiply, you have 4y minus 20, that will be minus 3x plus 9. So 4y, that will be minus 3x plus 29. That will be my equation of tangent at P. Again, the main idea is that we have to know that if you have a tangent on the circle, the point touching the circle connecting to the center, this will have to be 90. We have learned this in circles, we have to know this, right? Now we understand that the gradient, because they are perpendicular, gradient of PC multiplied by the gradient of tangent perpendicular to this one have to be minus 1. So that's the main concept behind. So obviously when you find the gradient for this one, you can find the gradient for tangent, and then using this we can find the equation of the tangent. So that will be your last question of this paper. Hopefully that was helpful, and as always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.